Hi, my name is Amanda Seidig, and this is my case management final project and interview with Andrea Myers. Now I can't see words.
Do you want me to check the blades?
No, I can't see there it is. According to Salary.com, some of the requirements and responsibilities of being a case manager is being responsible for emotional, mental, and psychological patient care and coordination. You also need to ensure care that is provided in accordance and organizational standards. You need to assist clients in making and achieving their goals. You also will provide transportation to and from mental health appointments and sometimes even their doctor's appointments. They would prefer a bachelor's or higher education, but I noticed on some of them that they didn't even need an associate's degree. They can either work with children or adults. And the salary, according to Salary.com, the average monthly income is between $6,000 and $7,000 a month, which is close to the equivalent of $78,000 to $85,000 per year. With no education, that brings things down to only $80,000 to $85,000 a year. With a master's, it only brings it up to $82,000 to $86,000 a year, give or take. When I contacted Andrea Myers about doing this interview, she was extremely excited. So I asked her, what is the best thing about being a case manager? She says that everything is different. There is very little that is predictable about working with persons with severe and persistent mentally ill adults. She also enjoys that the problem solving that is involved in the day-to-day case management. She talked about what the worst thing about being a case manager is, and that is learning the truth that you cannot actually fix anyone that is not interested in being so-called fixed. And even though you may not be able to fix them, you can plant seeds, and sometimes that has to be enough for you. When I asked her to elaborate on what fixing was, she talked about how to help them see past their illness and to see past how sick they are and learn different coping mechanisms. I asked her what advice she would give someone just starting out in this line of work. She says, you always need to remember why you got into this line of work and do not let that slip away. You must be able to separate work from personal life so that work can be work and home can just be home. Learn to never take work home with you. It'll eat at your personal life, and then it'll all just become one big blur, and you will burn out extremely quickly. I asked her again, what is something that those who are not in this profession should know, or what is something you would want them to know? And she replied that mental illness impacts 1 in 5 persons. You never want to forget, as it may be you that needs support, and you do not want to look your nose down at something that may be able to help you. She also talked about educating yourself about the mentally ill and how ignorance can be a killer. And people with mental illness are just like you and me, except they have a disease. They should not be looked at differently than one would look at a person with, let's say, cancer or diabetes. It is a medical disease, and it is all the same thing. I asked her what the hours were like, and she says it depends on the time of the year. Like, during the summer, she may work a few hours later in the day with a group of clients than she would during the winter. Or if she has a person in crisis, she may have to work later that day as well. She does notice that she seems to have a few more crises in the cold and dreary months than she does on the really nice, bright, sunshiny days of summer. But some people do not do well in the summer and they do better in the winter, so it really just depends on her caseload. If you have not learned to keep work and personal separate, you will be working nonstop. She said that about 17 years ago when she first started out, that she was more apt to work after hours. But now she trusts that her clients can find their ways to meet their needs with ER visits or after-hours mental health phone numbers. And although there may be an exception, she usually trusts them to find their rules so she doesn't have to work extra hours. We talked about what the stressors were and the rewards of the job. The stressors include the pressure to produce the numbers, seeing the potential in someone and knowing that you can only lead them to it, you cannot do it for them, and trying to work with team members who do not have the same ideas as you do and trying to come together for the good of the clients. Some of the rewards are seeing people reach that potential that you knew that they could all along, celebrating as a team when something awesome occurs, even if it is very short-lived, and knowing that the work you do really matters and is good work, and not very many people are gifted to be able to hold up to doing this job and doing it well. Are there any unusual perks to doing this type of work? She said yes, the job is extremely flexible. She does not know of any other job that will allow this type of flexibility. That is one of the top reasons that she loves her job. She also loves that this job is always on the move and it is never the same thing every day. There is literally never a dull moment. She is always going from one thing to another, and then she has the little things that will randomly pop up. She never knows what is going to happen next, and in order for someone to do this job, they must be extremely flexible as crises can occur at any moment, and they must be willing to be able to drop what they are doing, attend to that crisis, and move back to what they were doing before, or if they do not have the time and have to pick it up later, move on with your day and pick back up what you were doing at another time. Why did I choose case management as a career? I chose to work as a case manager in the mental health system for multiple reasons. They range from when I was younger, I had the best case managers available, and they did what they could to assist me in becoming a better person, even when I was not the most cooperative. I want to be able to help people when they are the sickest and help them see the light at the end of their tunnel. Even if I can only plant seeds, as Andrea has put it, I want to be able to make a difference to someone. I want to go to work and never know what is going to happen next and not have the same thing every day after day. I want to help those who cannot help themselves at the moment and watch them grow into people who can be productive members of society and watch them believe in themselves the way that I have always believed in them. So after I have talked with Andrea Myers, this has confirmed for me even more why I have chosen to do mental health case management. Between the flexibility, which would be perfect for me, as my son has special needs and sometimes I cannot be at work for a full 8 hours. I have to leave for, 20, 30 minutes and then come back, to her talking about how she made a difference in people's lives, even if she, as she put it, only planting a seed. So in conclusion, I have reconfirmed that this is going to be the career choice for myself and that it is going to be a perfect fit for me, my family, and for the company that I work for. Thank you.